sure if your teachers have told you yet, but none of your teachers will be in class tomorrow. Okay. All of us have to go to the school. So all of your work tomorrow is going to be just independent work. There are no Google Hangouts that you're going to go into. So you can do your work at any time in any order. Just make sure that it's all done on time. Okay. I want to give you a heads up that I am going to be emailing home to parents and calling home to parents next week for those of you who are still a little bit behind. Okay. So, right now, all of you as of today should have gotten your warm up, instruction, assignment, and quiz done. So, if your quiz is not done, or if you haven't even done the warm up and the instruction, or whatever it is, I'm going to be calling home just to let your parents know, because maybe something needs to change. Some of you have been telling me that you've been getting distracted, and maybe it's your room, or maybe you need to go to a quiet place. But we need to do this because you still have at least 1.5 weeks left of school. Okay, so what are we doing today? When I get on Schoology, it looks like today, after I go over some stuff with you, we are going to go into Edgenuity. I know it's our favorite thing, and then watch the next lesson. So the next lesson is solving linear equations, distributive property, and you're just going to do the warm up and the instruction. You're going to take notes on Kami or on paper, whatever you want to do, and make sure that you submit a picture of your notes. So if you go back to, right here, download notes and submit here. So that's what you click. You're going to click this to download the notes and print them out, or you're going to click this, open assignment with Kami, if you want to do it through Kami. Okay, so that's how you're going to download your notes and then do it through Kami. Remember, for those of you who take pictures, you have to take a picture of every single page. Or I would say the easiest would be to take a picture of 4 pages at a time, 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. Just stand up and put your papers on the floor, and then I can zoom in and see your notes myself. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing today. You're going to be doing the new lesson, warm up and instruction. Let me tell you what you're going to be doing tomorrow. Don't forget to take attendance too. Tomorrow, so I've opened up tomorrow as well. Tomorrow you are going to go into LT1 and you're going to do the assignment. So kind of like what you did a couple days ago, you're doing that same thing. So if you are on Edgenuity, so now you kind of have to scroll down, okay? So you should have done variables on both sides. All of this should be done. So you're going to scroll down, and now here's the new lesson. Today you're going to do the warm up and the instruction, and then tomorrow you're just doing the assignment. You don't need to do the quiz. The quiz will be on Monday, okay? Guys, remember what I said. If you are still on unit 1, then you still have to, or you're still on this lesson, you still have to finish that before you can even go on to the next one. Edgenuity will not let you skip ahead. So make sure that you are not falling too far behind. Okay. If you're having issues with logging in or whatever, let me know, because we got to figure it out somehow. Okay. So that's what we are doing today and tomorrow. All right. Any questions with that? All right. Then if you have questions, you just have to unmute and speak up, okay? Because I'm showing my screen and I don't want to show your chat box, because I don't want to show your faces in my video for my other classes. All right, if you have paper and pencil, go grab it. I would highly suggest that you take notes in the next 15 minutes, okay? So I'm going to record this. I'm still going to put it on Schoology, but if you have paper and pencil, go grab it right now. I'll wait for you. You have 45 more seconds. I will wait for you. Go get a paper and pencil, because I would highly suggest that you write this down. You have not learned this yet. Half of today, half of this is going to be new stuff. So I want you to know what you're doing, especially for those of you who are like, Edgenuity isn't helping me. Well, I hope that this helps you the next 15 minutes. Okay, 20 more seconds. Go find yourself paper and pencil. Okay, Let's do this. So guys, again, I can't see your faces. I can't see the chat box. So if you have a question or if you need me to slow down, you need to unmute and you need to just shout it out because I have no idea who's talking or if anyone is trying to talk, okay? Let's go through a couple examples. So please write this problem down. 3 parentheses, 2x plus 7 parentheses equals 15 parentheses x minus 4. So I have to solve this equation. Okay, well, here's the thing. I know that I see variables on both sides. I see an x on the left and I see an x on the right, but I can't do anything because I have these parentheses. So whenever you have parentheses in your problem, the first thing you have to do is to distribute. So this is what I mean by distribute. Take the outer number of the parentheses and then you multiply it by everything on the inside. So 3 times 2x is just 3 times 2. So that's 6x. I see a plus sign in between, so I write a plus. 3 times 7 is 21. So that's the new left side of my problem. Equals, so do the same thing. I see parentheses. So take the thing that's right before, so the 15, and multiply. Sure. So again, let me just repeat myself. So whenever you see parentheses in your problem, you have to distribute. And distributing means that you are going to take the number or the symbol or whatever it is right before and multiply. So 3 times 2x is 6x. You see a plus. 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, someone's on not on mute right now. Do you have a question or okay? So now let's do this side. Let's multiply. 15 times x is like 15 times 1x. So 15 times 1 is just 15x and then minus 15 times 4. If you don't know it, it's 60. But remember, you have a calculator. Okay, so just use your calculator. It's 60. So here's my new problem. Now you should know what to do, right? This is now what we've been doing for the past couple of days. I see x's on both sides. It would be easier for me to drop down and move the smaller x so I don't have to deal with negatives. This is a positive 6x. So opposite of a positive is a minus or a negative. So I'm going to minus 6x on both sides. So left over then, I still have a 21 on the left side equals 15 minus 6. If you don't want to do it in your head, then do it on your calculator. It's 9x minus 60. Okay, at this point, this is a two-step equation. I'm going to add 60 to both sides to get rid of the 60. I always want to move the thing that's farthest away from my x, so the 60 is farther away than the 9. 21 plus 60 is 81 equals 9x. Divide both sides by 9 because it's 9 times x. So 81 divided by 9 is 9, and so that's my answer. Okay? For those of you who are a little confused, you can always rewatch this video too, because I'm going to put it on Schoology underneath today's attendance as soon as it gets uploaded. Okay? And you can always check your answers as well. Plug it back in and check your answers. Okay, so that's how I use the distributive property. Let me do a question a little bit harder. Okay, so let's do this one. So please write this problem down. 14 minus 3 parentheses 5x minus 12 parentheses equals 1 minus parentheses 20x plus 1. It's a huge problem. So yes? Okay. So yes, I'm talking. Was there a question? Can you guys hear me? Can anyone else hear me? Okay. Santiago, it might just be your I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe log back off and then log back on. If everyone else can hear me, I think that it might just be your computer. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Yep. Okay, yeah, if it doesn't work, try captions. Thank you to whoever said that. Okay, so the reason why this problem is much more difficult is because of the negative. So do you see how you have a parentheses? So I always take the number right before, but it's not a 3, it's a -3. A -3 is the same thing as -3. So I'm going to multiply the -3, not a 3, not a positive 3, but a -3, because I see a negative right before it. So let's rewrite this problem. I have 14. Okay, -3 times 5 is -15, and then I have the x. So it's -15x. Minus and negative are the same thing. So now let's do this one. -3 times -12, because it's a -12, right? Because the symbol right before. -3 times -12 is +36, so it's a +36. Okay, let's do the next side. I have a 1. No. When you're multiplying and there's an x in your problem, then just stick the x at the end. Does that answer your question? Okay. So now this one, I see parentheses, but I see no number here. But remember, if you don't see a number, you always have an imaginary 1. So you're really multiplying by a -1 because it's a minus. So don't forget, that's a -1. It's not a +1. So I'm multiplying this, everything in the parentheses, by a -1. So I had the 1, I just drop it down. So now let's distribute. -1 times 20x is just -20x. -20x is the same thing as saying -20x. Now let's multiply here. -1 times +1 is -1. So I just write -1. Now it looks like I can combine some like terms. On the left side, I have a number and a number. So I have 14 plus 36 because it's a positive 36. So it looks like if I combine those two, I have 50 and then minus 15x, right? Because this minus 15x doesn't change. And then on the right side, I have two more numbers I can combine, a 1 and a -1. It's not a positive 1, it's a -1. So 1 minus 1 is just 0, so that just disappears. So left over, I just have -20x. So that's my new problem. So I have x's on both sides. I know that I said that it's normally easier to drop down the smaller one, but if all your x's, if there's nothing else here, why don't you just add the 15x over so that all your x's are, boom, already on one side. So I have 50 equals -20 plus 15 is -5x. And then I'm going to divide both sides by -5. So 50 divided by -5 gives me -10 equals x. I can plug it back in if I want to double check, but that is the answer. Yes, what's your question? So this one that I circled is negative, not this one. This is a positive one because look at the symbol right before. It's a positive. So you always look at the symbol right before. So right before this one is a positive, so it's a +1. Right before this one is a minus, which is a negative. So that's why this is a -1. Okay, let's do one more hard one like that until we get into something completely brand new. So again, if this is kind of just like already over your head, guys, this is still a review. This is a review from last year. I honestly might consider, if you feel like you're comfortable, because it's only going to get much harder. I haven't even talked about any new stuff yet this year. Okay. All right, let's do one more hard one and then we'll do brand new stuff. Okay, so for this one, I have, please write this problem, 12 parentheses 5 plus 2x parentheses equals 4x minus parentheses 6 minus 9x. Okay, so I got a lot going on. The first thing I see is parentheses, so I need to get rid of my parentheses. So that means to distribute. Take the number before and multiply. Well, this is a 12. It's not a -12. It's a +12 because there's no negative right before it. So 12 times 5 is 60. So I have 60 and then plus 12 times 2x is 24x. So I just distributed the left side. The right side, I have parentheses. So what do I circle? I circle this negative. Well, it's negative what? Negative 1, because I don't see a number there. So I'm multiplying the negative 1 by this stuff on the inside. So I have the 4x. I don't change it. I don't touch it. It just drops down. Now let's distribute. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. Negative 1 times negative 9, because it's a minus 9, right? Minus 9 is negative 9. Negative 1 times negative 9 is positive 9x. And then I'm going to combine like terms. So there's nothing to combine on the left side, but on the right side, I have a 4x plus a 9x because it's plus 9x. So left side, I still have 60 plus 24x equals 4 plus 9 is 13x. And then I still have the minus 6 here. Okay, hopefully this is easy now. We've been doing it for the last half week. Minus 13x on both sides. To get rid of it, I have 60. 24 minus 13 is 11, so plus 11x equals, and then left over, I don't have a 6. I have a minus 6, which is a negative 6. Okay, next thing I want to do is subtract 60 on both sides. So that gives me 11x equals negative 6 minus 60 is negative 66. Divide by 11 on both sides. I have x equals negative 6. So that's my answer. Okay, any questions? Shout it out, please, before we move on to the new stuff. This is all review so far. Why do I need a negative sign before the 6? This 6? Are you talking about this right here? Okay. Do you see how there was a minus 6 here? So it just kind of it just drops down. Minus and negative are basically the same thing. Does that answer your question? Okay, just drop it down as you see it in the original problem. Don't change any of the symbols. Okay, let's do the new stuff. So this is new. You have never learned this before. Okay, sometimes you will have a solution. Your solution will be negative 6, or your solution will be negative 10, or your solution will be 9. It'll be a number. But sometimes your solution is going to be called no solution or all real numbers. So like sometimes you're going to solve a problem and your answer that you box in is going to say no solution, or the answer that you box in is going to say all real numbers. You're not going to have a number as an answer anymore. So let me tell you when you would see something like this. So please write this problem down. 4x, no, I'm going to make this easier for you, sorry. 2x plus 6 equals 2 parentheses x plus 3. Okay, so that's your problem. 2x plus 6 equals 2 parentheses x plus 3. The first thing you do when you solve this problem is you distribute. So distribute that. So on the left side, I still have the same thing. I don't change anything because there's nothing to do. 2x plus 6 equals. Now let's distribute. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is positive 6. So it's 2x plus 6. So let's go ahead and do this now. Draw your separation wall. I have x's on both sides. Drop the smaller one. Oh, well, they're the same. Okay, so drop any of them. Doesn't matter. Minus 2x, minus 2x. Oh, they completely disappeared. Do you see how your x's disappeared from the problem? You have no x's left over. That's okay. What do you have left over? 6 equals 6, right? This 6 drops down. You have the equals. That 6 drops down. Is that true? Does 6 equal 6? Yes, 6 does equal 6. So if it's true, your answer is always going to be all real numbers. Or you can say infinitely many solutions. So there's two ways that you can say this answer. You can say that your answer is all real numbers or infinitely many solutions. Holy cow, that's a lot of letters to write. All real numbers, just write ARN. Okay, infinitely many solutions, just write IMS, whatever you want to do. You don't have to spell it out. okay? But guys, if your x's completely disappear, but the numbers are the same, they're equal to each other, so your statement is still true, then your answer is going to be all real numbers or infinitely solutions. So don't say your answer is 6. Your answer is not 6. You would get it wrong. You say that your answer is all real numbers or infinitely many solutions. Okay, so when are you going to get a no solution as an answer? That's the last one we're going to do. Okay, so for this one, please write this problem down. Let's say you have 5x plus 5 equals 5x plus 4. So 5x plus 5 equals 5x plus 4. So let me separate my problem. Oh, it looks like I have x's on both sides. Oh, they're the same number. So just drop any of them down. Okay, so I'm going to minus 5x on both sides. Oh, my x's completely disappeared. That's okay. I can have my x's completely disappear. So what do I have left over though? I have a 5 on this side equals a 4 on that side. Does 5 ever equal 4? No, 5 will never equal 4. It is false. It's never going to be true. So your answer is not 5. It is not 4. Your answer is going to be no solution or no sol. Okay, that's what you box in. That's what you click for a multiple choice answer. Your answer is not 5. It is not 4. It's going to be no solution, and that's it. Okay. So again, I kind of want to tell you